On day 1, I spawned in as a baby gorilla.
Where am I?
I approached the cage door that had locked me in, but thankfully it opened. I was free, and I got my first task. I had to save my friend who was trapped in a cage beside me.
Wow, you are one lucky gorilla. How was that cage door open? Never mind. You must go up the road and steal the key from the poachers and free me. We are all in great danger, little one.
After speaking with the gorilla elder, I realized that I had to take on poachers. This wasn't going to be easy, but I realized that I could toss my poop as a method of fighting them off. This was getting pretty strange, but I was up against it, so I had to use everything I could. And that includes my poop. I decided to take a look around this base camp to see if I could find anything that would help me against those poachers. And straight away, I was able to find myself a wooden spear. This would surely help in fighting off these goons, and also I found bananas. It was gonna be hungry work.
Okay, I think I've got everything I need. Time to have a little snack, get the energy levels up, and take on these poachers.
It was time. Just as the elder gorilla had said, I had to follow the road all the way up the side of the mountain to locate the poachers' outpost. They were standing guard, with other animals trapped in cages all around them. I had to be stealthy. I had to sneak around and see if I could attack them by surprise, otherwise I would have been overwhelmed. Somehow, I was able to pluck up the courage to get a little closer and take my first shot. Yep, that's right, I threw my own poop at this poacher, nailing him right in the head. The battle was on, and thankfully it was just 1v1. I needed to make sure that I could take these guys on one at a time, otherwise there would be too many of them. I took out the first guy, and straight away I was able to locate the key, but unfortunately that had alerted the rest of the poachers. They were coming to close me down, and one of them even had a rifle. Thankfully, I was able to use the tent as some cover and take these guys out. I was feeling unstoppable. I was a baby gorilla, but I just took out all of those poachers. I was tired and getting cold, so I decided to get some rest and heat up by the fire. Tomorrow, I was going to go save my friend. It was day 2, the sun rose, and I got ready to continue my adventure. I had just defeated the poachers. I got the key, and it was now time to trek back down the road, open the cage, and free my friend. Day 1 was a huge success, and I was so excited to toss down this key and release my friend.
Well, thank you for freeing me, little one. You have proved to be quite the warrior. These poachers have invaded this whole entire island. I have a bad feeling. The humans always play with nature, and it never turns out well. You have to find Apestein, the scientist. He will surely know what to do.
Apestein? Okay, well, he does sound smart.
Alright, so I had my second task. I had to travel back up this road to see if I could find the guy that they call Apestein. Anyway, on my travels, I came across a wild boar. I wasn't sure if he was friendly or not until he did this. He jumped at me, charged as fast as he could with his horns, trying to kill me. His friend came by. There were now 2 of them. The battle was on, but thankfully I was able to take them out. This place is seriously dangerous. I had just took some big shots, I was tired, so I decided to get some food and get some rest. On days 3, 4, and 5, I continued to adventure across this intense landscape. Again, coming across these killer hogs, but thankfully I was able to fight my way through once more. I soon reached a small lake in the distance, and I saw something. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I knew I had to get a little closer to check it out. I took a quick look around to make sure that it was safe and decided it was, so I proceeded to get closer to the lake's edge. There were some lily pads. I decided it was time to jump on them and try to traverse across to the middle island, but unfortunately, well, I fell straight into the lake and soon found out that gorillas are not very good at swimming. I sank straight to the bottom. I had to claw my way back to the edge and climb up. Thankfully, I was okay. I shook off and decided to be a little bit more careful this time and made my way across the lake once more.
Hey, excuse me? I come in peace. I'm just looking for some information.
I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a sniffer sitting right there. This guy looks super cool. I immediately asked him did he ever hear of Epstein and would he know where he was.
Ah, hello there. So you want to know about Epstein? Well, he has a laboratory in the jungle. It's near the gorilla's secret village. You will have to cross the river, but beware. The hunters have destroyed one bridge, and they're guarding the other. Maybe you should look for a different way around.
Yo, that sniffer was awesome. He gave me some great information and I knew I had to find this secret gorilla jungle base if I was going to find Epstein. I did notice some hunters in the distance, so I knew it was going to be a pretty difficult task. I had to get some rest. On the morning of day 6, I continued to explore. I came across a small but intimidating river that I needed to cross. I don't think this was the river that Sniffer was talking about, but all the same I didn't want to get in because, well, remember, I'm not the best at swimming. I decided to circle around the long way, but that night I was attacked once more by 3 wild boar. It was intense. I had to take out my poop again and start tossing it at them. But I ended up dropping my spear. Super bad move and I had to retreat. This was not good. I was overwhelmed and I had to run and hide. Eventually, I did get away from these crazy fools. I got some food on board and got some rest. That was a close call. Day 7, and I woke up to find that my spear was laying in the middle of the dirt track. But then, out of nowhere, they came again. It was the boars. They attacked, charging forward, but this time with my spear in hand, I was able to fight them off and continue on my journey once more. Up ahead, I saw that there were more poachers, or hunters, whatever you want to call them. All I know is that they have another one of my brethren trapped. There was a gorilla in a cage once more, and I had to sneak up and attack with my poop. Well, to try free him. So that's what I did. I got in, nice, close, and personal, and started to attack these guys. I was able to take out the first one pretty easily, but then the second one had a rifle. The third, he came at me pretty hard. I took him out, but then I was able to use the cover of the tent to get around and deal the final blow on this poacher. I also found a key that enabled me to unlock the gate to free another one of my gorilla friends.
Hey bro, how long have you been trapped in here? I'm glad I was able to get you free. Hey, by the way, do you know where this secret gorilla camp is? I'm kinda looking for someone.
Thank you, young brother. I haven't got much time. I need to go find more of our friends. We are under attack. Keep following the trail, get to the bridge, and get to the other side. Any means necessary. Godspeed, young one.
Yeah, so this guy seemed pretty intense, but I now knew exactly where I needed to go. So, time to get some rest and get ready for a big day tomorrow. It was now day 10 and I continued on. I needed to find this bridge. I wasn't really sure where it was, but I just followed the path and eventually I got there. But unfortunately, it was guarded by some angry tigers. These guys rushed at me, but now that I had my spear back, I was pretty confident and I was able to take them out. I don't like hurting these guys, but they did want to eat me. So I continued on, found that the bridge had been destroyed. This was not good, because, yeah, I'm kind of afraid of heights, and as you know already, I'm not the best swimmer in the world. I had to pluck up courage. I saw that there was a way to get up the other side, and I knew the only way to get there was to dive straight in. I had to man up. I did it! I went for it! I dove straight in and splash! I went straight into the water, it broke my fall, and I was able to climb back up onto this rock. Dude, it was super scary, but I had done it. Oh man, I am getting braver by the day. I got to the other side and start following the trail up the side of this cliff. So I figured I was getting closer to finding Epstein. I didn't exactly know where he was, but I knew he was on this side. I knew he was in the jungle. I had to get in here and see if I could find any clues. Again, I was attacked by more tigers. It was so dangerous out here, especially at night. But then there he was, the guy I had just saved on the other side.
Hey bro, how did you get over here so fast? Did you manage to save more of our friends? What's going on?
Young brother, you have proved yourself a great asset to us. These poachers are trying to take our lands. Something mysterious is happening on this island, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Go find Epstein. He has been stuck in his lab for the last couple of days, trying to figure things out. He could use a young warrior like you.
Okay, I was starting to put things together a little bit. I knew that this gorilla was the coolest gorilla I'd ever met, I knew Apestein was important, and I knew I had to find him. All the rest, I still wasn't kinda sure. But I managed to gather up some food that night and get ready to go find Apestein tomorrow. Days 14 through 18, I actually made some new friends. I had found it. I found this secret gorilla village. All these guys were super nice and offered me bananas because they knew I'd helped their friend. This was pretty sweet. Every single one that I met gave me a couple of bananas. It was awesome. I decided I wanted to pay these guys back. I wanted to do something for them. So I went out and picked up berries because gorillas love berries. I went back, put them in a chest, and they were super happy.
Yo, thanks, man. We really appreciate that. And for everything that you're doing. I heard you're quite the warrior.
Well, yeah, I've saved a couple of gorillas and fought off some hogs.
Well, anyway, here's a token of our appreciation.
Yes, these guys were awesome. They gave me an enchanted book. It was sharpness 5. I was gonna be able to get one of my spears to be super powerful. And something told me that I was gonna absolutely need it. But it was time to get some rest. I was gonna chill with these guys for a bit. On day 19, things started to get very interesting. I found an open way down into some sort of a cave system, and I was greeted by these crazy looking gorillas. This dude had his brain exposed, and it looks as if he was in a lab coat. He was trying to kill me. I had to fight him off. I think this was it. I think I had found Apestein's lab, and I think I know why he hadn't been seen in a couple of days. He was trapped down here because of these crazy looking gorillas. It was like they were some sort of mutation. Mutant gorillas. All I knew is they were strong and they were charging me down. Oh my days, I'm just a kid. I had to back it up. I was down to like 4 hearts. This took me a while, but eventually I was able to fight my way through and get down into this lab. It was magnificent. I didn't really know what I was looking at, but all I know is it was crazy. It was huge. And then I saw it. A gigantic mechanical gorilla. Oh my days, did I want to get my hands on that thing.
Hey, over here.
I heard a voice. I think it was Apestein. He was calling out to me, so I decided to go over. I kind of got distracted by this mural on the wall, but I had to find out what Apestein was going to say.
Hello and thank you for saving me, young man. My name is Dr. Apestein, and those guys that you just met, well, they're my creations, my experiments. I was trying to find a solution to chase away the humans, but it kind of backfired a little bit. Anyway, the island has an extraordinary power and it must be protected. You see this ancient painting on the wall? It is said that the spirit of the island takes shapes when it's in danger. And that's upon us right now. We must do something about it, otherwise a terrible threat will befall us gorillas. But I suppose these are just legends, so let's talk about the problem at hand. The humans. These hunters have established a camp nearby. Please go defeat them. I can't do it because, well, I've got to continue my experiments. But be careful. Their boss seems to be more fearsome than the rest. Good luck, little one.
Okay, so it looks as if I have my next mission. Apestein wants me to go take care of this pillager boss. He's the head of all the hunters. It was also going to take me a while to process all that information I just got. On days 22 through 25, I decided it was time to leave Apestein's lab. I found a different exit. This one was going to lead me straight to that pillager boss and all his poachers. I couldn't just rush straight in. I had to be strategic. I had to find the lay of the land and make sure that I wasn't, well, jumping straight into a battle that I couldn't win. And then I saw him. He did look a lot different to the poachers. He had some sort of staff. I knew that that was going to be a powerful weapon. I've got to be honest, I was pretty nervous here. But with that being said, it was time to dive straight in and get this battle commenced. Straight away, I took out one of the pillagers, and I ended up finding an iron spear. I was then able to actually pick up one of the rifles and fight these guys off some more. But this pillager boss was relentless. He kept on coming at me, he kept on attacking. And my word was he's strong. I may have underestimated this guy. The battle commenced, it raged on for ages. For every blow that I struck down, he struck back just as hard. But eventually he grew weaker, and my strikes were doing more and more damage. And then I did it. I struck the final blow and the pillager boss went down. I was victorious. I am one tough gorilla kid. So, on day 26, I made my way back to the secret gorilla village. I wanted to get some more help from these guys. This time, they tossed down an iron anvil so I could enchant my new iron spear. I got sharpness 5 on this thing from the book that they had given me before. These guys were really helping me out. It was awesome. And my spear was now super powerful, ready for more battles. On the morning of day 27, I went back to the secret tunnel that led to Dr. Apestein's lab. I approached him thinking he was going to be super happy, but what happened next was incredible. I morphed into an adult gorilla. Oh my days. It seems that I was going to get more powerful with each mission that I passed. Apestein was super happy with me, and I was super happy with what I got. Health boost, resistance, strength 2, and speed.
My goodness, back again so soon. Thank you for taking care of those poachers. Great work. But now we have another problem on our hands. One of my experiments has escaped into the mines. I know. Find it and defeat it. If the humans see it, they will understand that we are looking for a way to defeat them, and they will hunt us again more fiercely. So be quick, be quiet, and be efficient.
This guy wasn't messing around. I had a new mission to take out one of his crazy experiments that had gone wrong. On days 28 through 32, I left the jungle in search of Lord Banana. I knew I would know her when I saw her. Apestein's experiments seemed to have a distinct look about them. I began traveling down the cliff face and across the dried out river, and just as I was getting closer, a Lord Banana boss bar appeared. I knew that I was gonna have a fight on my hands. Entering the cave, I was immediately greeted by another one of the failed experiments. This crazy gorilla with his brain exposed, they were everywhere. Oh man, I had to fight my way through. This cave system was absolutely huge. And one after another, they just popped out of nowhere. How many of these things did Apestein actually make? I got distracted and started following the cave up to the top of this lit up area, and I actually found a chest. Inside, I found an enchanted golden banana. This thing was pretty awesome, but then I got a side quest. I had to take out a golden gorilla boss. What? What am I reading right now? This thing just spawned in out of nowhere. He was made from pure gold. I've got to be honest, this thing was impressive, but he was coming at me and I didn't know how strong he was. Thankfully, I had my new iron spear. It had sharpness, and I absolutely destroyed this golden gorilla. In the excitement of the battle, I didn't actually think through what was happening. Things were really starting to get strange around here. So I continued on. Days 33 through 37, I went deep into this cave. I came across more of these mutant gorillas. I had to fight them and keep on going. I was getting a drink in this little lake when I heard something strange. Yep, that's right, it was Lord Banana. This thing was absolutely insane looking. Tongue out, banana crown, and yeah, she was wearing a tutu. This was super strange. So the fight began. She came at me with a spinning attack. It was crazy. She was super strong, knocking my hearts down with ease. But I had to keep on fighting. I had to keep on battling. I've got to be honest, I was having a lot of fun right now. But I did have to retreat from time to time because she did hit hard. Almost half my hearts were gone, but I got in and dealt the final blow. Whew, that was absolutely epic. And just as Apestein said, there were humans just ahead. I'm lucky they didn't see. Anyway, I got started with the long trek back home to talk to everyone at the campsite and to Apestein. On day 38, on my way back to see Apestein, I decided to stop in the secret gorilla village. I was running out of food and I wanted to see if these guys needed any help.
Yo man, good to see you again. We were thinking, we could get you all the food that you want if you were able to build us some weapons. It's getting kind of crazy around here and we want to make sure that we're fully equipped and ready for battle.
Okay, so it seemed as if the gorillas were a little bit nervous about what was happening on the island, so I decided, I was gonna make these guys some weapons when I got a chance to do so. I grabbed some wood and then I decided it was time to head back down to Apestein, to tell him that I defeated his crazy creation that was Lord Banana. Seriously guys, that thing was super weird.
So you met Lord Banana. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, cloning is not my strong point. Look what a mess I've made. Anyway, I've been measuring strange magnetic fields on the island. Something extraordinary is happening. Well, we haven't got much time to think about that right now. I'm finalizing my latest invention. You may have noticed it on the way in. But first, we need to rescue our friends in the main camp. You should be able to sneak in from the mines. That's probably the best way. Catch them off guard.
Okay, so I was now equipped with more information from my good friend Apestein, and I had to go back to the mines. I mean, I was getting a little bit braver, I was getting a little bit bigger, and I was getting to know the area, so I was starting to take some shortcuts. Gotta be honest, that was super fun. I headed straight back into the mines knowing that there were going to be more humans waiting for me, but also knowing that I had to get to work. I had to make some weapons for all my gorilla friends. I spent a couple of days in here getting all the materials I needed together. After getting a little organized on days 44 through 47, I delved deeper down into this cave system. Immediately, I was confronted by more poachers, and this time there were miners too. These guys had set up settlements underground mining all the resources for themselves. They immediately came at me trying to take me out, but I was able to fight them off now that I had my weapon and I was a little bit bigger. I gathered up some things and put down a crafting table and a furnace so I could smelt some of the ores that I had just got. I then decided to move forward. At the edge of this little lava pit, I came across another miner but took him out with ease. It was time to keep pushing forward and find what I was looking for. I had to find this huge camp and save more of my gorilla friends. But as I kept going, this place just kept on getting bigger, with more and more hunters, more and more miners, and more poachers. But then I came across a lot of materials, so I started gathering them all up. On day 48, I got down to the deepest depths of this cave. I noticed some sort of a crazy ore that I had never seen before. It was glowing and it was yellow, but once more I got attacked. And then I kind of got distracted by diamonds. Everybody loves diamonds and everybody gets distracted by diamonds, and I was no different. I mined them up because I knew I needed to make spears for the gorillas, and diamond spears would be the best that I could get my hands on. I was pretty happy about this and moved forward to see if I could find more, and not before long, after taking out more of these miners and hunters, I found a gigantic stack of diamond ore. It was awesome. On day 49, the exploration continued. I kept on going deep into this cave and found more and more of these miners. I couldn't believe how far this thing stretched. I must have been so far away from Apestein and the rest of my gorilla friends, but I had to keep on going. I had to find where this main camp was. It felt like I was never going to find it, because every turn I took there were just more miners, more hunters, and more poachers. But I persevered, taking them each out with one more strike of my spear, and then I saw it. It was an exit. It looked as if there was a man-made structure out of this cave, but it was guarded, heavily guarded by many men. I had to head back and reinforce all the gorillas with their new spears. I couldn't just go straight in there, well, in case I failed. I wasn't sure if I could take them all on just yet. So I decided that the best port of call was to head back. I got to the original area where I placed down the crafting table and the furnace, and I started to craft all of the diamond spears. These were going to be integral if we were going to keep the rest of the gorillas safe in their secret village. I made it back after the long journey. I was super tired, but the rest of the gorillas were delighted to see me. And especially the main gorilla. When I started tossing out these diamond spears, he was super happy, and I was happy that I could help out my gorilla friends. I said goodnight and went to get some rest, because like I said before, it had been a long week. On day 57, I woke up inside the secret camp where the gorilla leader offered me a chest full of bananas as reward for making all of the diamond spears. I was super happy and gratefully accepted. Knowing that I was going to have an extremely tough battle ahead, I decided to make myself a shield. I then went ahead and smelted some of the gold that I had mined so I could make some golden bananas. I couldn't be too careful because I knew going to that camp was going to be extremely dangerous. On days 59 through 64, I set off again on the long journey through the cave system to go and find this poacher camp. Thankfully, I didn't have to battle my way through the caves this time, but when I did get to the exit, I was immediately confronted by a hunter. Thankfully, he was on his own and I took him out and pushed forward. But when I got close to the exit, more and more of them came down and attacked me. This was going to be a tough battle. I managed to get to the top of the exit, but realized that daylight was not going to be my friend here. I thought to myself that I have to wait till nightfall if I was going to have any chance to take these guys by surprise and save the rest of my gorilla friends. Nightfall came on day 65. I ventured up the stairs to be greeted by a big posse of these poachers. I had to battle. It was time. I had no other choice but go straight in. The element of surprise was lost. As the alarm sounded, they knew I was here. I had to just attack. As I climbed this watchout tower, I gazed across a huge encampment full of humans. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to take them on all by myself, but I had no choice. I had to just dive in and go for it. It was me versus them, and I had to succeed. By now, I was pretty sure I knew why the humans were here. They were mining that ore we found deep down in the cave. The glowing yellow stuff, I wasn't really sure what it was, but I knew it was valuable, and I knew that the humans were here to take every single last piece of it for themselves. This truck was used to transport it around the island, and it was super satisfying when I blew it up with my TNT. Continuing on, I took out more and more guards, getting closer and closer to the main tent in the middle of the campsite. Taking out the last couple of guards, I realized that more of my friends were trapped inside. I grabbed the key, but I heard more reinforcements coming, so I rushed outside, found a new weapon, and took out the remaining guards and poachers. When I got back to the trapped gorilla, I freed him from his cage, but he was still in shock.
Wow, thank you so much. I've got more friends coming. We're going to make a plan to secure this location. You need to continue to work with Epstein. We're all in great danger. The fate of the gorillas on this island rests entirely on your shoulders. Every decision we make must be the right one from here on in.
On day 70, more gorillas arrived to the main human camp that we now had under control. But it was time for me to make my way back to Epstein's lab. It was a long journey, but I eventually got there, and when I did, I evolved once more. I was huge! Yo, Epstein, bro, look at the size of me! I'm massive! Oh yeah, and this new mission? Yeah, of course, but what's Bananium?
Oh, well, haven't you turned into quite the warrior? You've saved everyone from the clutches of the humans. And I've got good news. I have almost finished the gorilla mecha, so we'll be able to drive them off the island once and for all. There is one problem, though. I no longer have any bananium to power it up. What's bananium, you say? But it's the main reason the humans have come to this island. It's a mineral that has special properties, a great source of power, and our mines are rich in it. The problem is, I need supercharged bananium, and I don't have any more. As far as I know, when the humans were logging the jungle, they mined it all, and were using it to upgrade their equipment and machines. You should go acquire some from them.
On day 75 through 81, I decided to head back to the gorilla camp to get some more advice. These guys were shocked at how big I had grown. They were super impressed, but I did need a little bit of help. I wanted to make sure I was going into the final battle prepared.
Whoa, man, you look impressive. You must have been working out. Anyway, I heard that you're going after the humans to try find some supercharged bananium. Seems super dangerous. You should probably check out a temple that's close by. You may find some stuff there that will help you out in your mission. Good luck, friend.
So, taking the advice from my gorilla friend, I decided to continue on through the jungle to try and find this secret temple. I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, but when I saw this glowing, gigantic, huge banana in the distance, I knew that was the place. So I continued on and eventually got to the foot of this temple. I saw a crate dangling precariously below this giant banana. I wanted to take a look inside. Without giving it much thought, I jumped on this pedestal to try and reach the crate, but suddenly the floor gave way and I fell down into a trap. Tired from traveling, I decided to get some rest and think about how I was going to escape in the morning. It was day 82 and the first thing I thought of was how to escape. Thankfully, I got some of these blocks and dripstones and I was able to tower my way up. You may notice on the screen that there was a golden gorilla waiting outside for me, but you also may have noticed that I have a new weapon in my inventory.
Yep, things are about to get crazy. Eventually, I did escape that pit of doom and got up to the crate to see what was inside. And waiting for me was an enchanted golden banana. This was definitely something that I was going to need in a final battle. I then took out my banana bazooka. Yep, that's right, Epstein gave me a new weapon and I was able to take out this golden gorilla with ease. Oh man, I am so big and powerful, feeling unstoppable. Days 84 through 87 started off pretty insane. I checked out a close by volcano and it started to rumble. Something strange was happening, I wasn't sure what it was, but I felt like I had to get out of there. So I decided to make my way back to the secret gorilla village. Yeah, so you may notice it wasn't just eruption sounds coming from the volcano, something else was happening too. I wasn't quite sure, but I decided to just head back to the guys and show them what I had got. They assured me that this would help me in any big battles that I had coming up. I spent the next few days making my way back to the main human camp. It was now under control by all of my gorilla friends, so we did not need to worry. But there was no supercharged bananium here, so I needed to track down more humans once more to see if I could find this precious mineral. On the morning of day 88, I headed back out, but it was on day 90 when I found another human campsite. This time they had better weapons, but so did I. I had my banana bazooka. I was blasting these guys and taking them out with ease. There was another boss, but again I was able to slay him within seconds. And there it was. It was the bananium. I had actually found it. I got inside this tent and picked up as much as I could carry. This is exactly what Epstein was looking for, and he would be able to power his huge gorilla mech with it. I was so excited I decided to head straight back, and a couple of days later I made it back to Epstein's lab. I walked straight up to him and oh my goodness, I actually did it! I turned into the gorilla mecha and I was absolutely huge! Look at the size of me! There is no way that I'm not going to be able to defeat this final boss. On day 94, I left Epstein's lab for one last time. Now as the gorilla mech, I was absolutely huge and this terrain was easy to pass. I could jump high, I could run fast, and I now had 40 hearts. There is no way that this ancient lizard was going to be able to defeat me. On days 95 through 98, I continued along the trail, hoping to find the ancient lizard that Epstein said would spawn because of the humans exploiting the island's resources. If the lizard boss was not stopped, he would destroy the entire island and the gorillas would be doomed. I traveled along the trail for a long time. I ended up losing over half my hearts because these smaller lizards were actually packing a punch. I had to harvest more bananas from the trees and continue on trying to restore my health as I did. I then came across these lava golems, but thankfully my banana bazooka was able to take them out. I now knew that I was getting closer to the final boss battle, as I was confronted by more lava golems, and just like before, I started hearing strange groans coming from beneath the bubbling lava pits that surrounded me. And it was on day 99 when I rounded the corner and saw the ancient lizard boss for the first time. He was surrounded by his minions, and I knew that I was going to have an epic battle on my hands. The stage was set and the battle commenced. I ate an enchanted golden banana straight off the bat to get myself to 46 hearts. There was no way that these guys were going to be able to defeat me, but I soon realized that there was a possibility when all the little minions started attacking and my hearts began to diminish. At times I had to play it safe. I backed up to let my hearts regenerate. But when it was just me and the lizard boss, I was able to get some good shots off. But unfortunately, so was he. His swipe attack was ferocious, and I had lost half my health within an instant. Suddenly, the ancient lizard had evolved. He was twice the size and now back to full health. I immediately ate my final enchanted golden banana and knew it was going to be either him or me. I lit my final blocks of TNT under his feet, hoping the explosions would do enough damage for me to get close enough and land the final blow. Knowing this was my last chance, I got within range and threw my supercharged power punch. And the ancient lizard had fallen. I had done it. He was defeated and I was victorious. The island and all its inhabitants were safe once more. On day 100, I woke up a Gorilla King. Special thanks to the guys at One Mind for making this video possible.